Evan Bouchard got the Edmonton Oilers rookies on the board early in the third period to make it a one-goal game. But unfortunately for Edmonton, that was as close as it would get as the Calgary Flames rookies added another one late in the third period with an empty net to seal it with a 3-1 victory for the Flames. Welcome to the live post-game show on Oilers TV. I'm Tony Barr. We're going to get some live post-game reaction from the Edmonton rookies locker room and also hear from head coach Jay Woodcroft in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
In their goaltender is somebody who fights back?
Yeah, even if you give up a bad goal, you have to move on and to be ready for the next one. So the next one is always the most important. So even if I'm not happy with the first goal, I wasn't sad. I got surprised. I fight back and came back in the game and finished strong.
You kind of got shelled with shots, which from a team standpoint isn't great, but if you're a goalie trying to catch somebody's eye, is that kind of a good game for you to see a lot of rubber?
For sure, it's a good game with 40 shots, but the guys played well in front of me. I could see almost every puck, so they made my life easier, so it was a good game.
You talked about earlier today how it's been a long summer of training, first time getting to game action. For a goaltender especially, is it just a matter of kind of feeling the puck in the first few minutes and starting to get your groove on as the game progresses?
When the puck drops, you have to be ready, so there's no excuses on that. So next time I will be ready, and those kind of goals make difference in pros, so I want to improve on that.
Obviously not the circumstance you want in the first 6 minutes and 30 seconds, but as a goaltender, as a competitor, is that a challenge that you look forward to, that challenge of bouncing back and making 40-plus stops tonight?
Yeah, you always have to be ready. Like I said, the next one is always the most important, so I had to keep my game simple and fight on every puck.
As the game goes on, do you feel yourself getting into a groove, especially when you're getting that much action?
Like I said, when the puck drop, I have to be ready. Even if I don't have a lot of shot in the first, I have to be ready no matter the circumstances. So I guess if I have 40 and plus shots, kind of help to get in the game, but you always have to be ready when the puck drop.
Was the plan for you to go all 60, or did they just sort of feel it?
Yeah, it was the plan.
Okay.
How much does this game kind of help you gauge where you're at right now in terms of, as a precursor to the season, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are?
A couple of things to work on, so I will get back in my junior team and make sure I improve on those things. So it's probably my next year in junior, so I want to be ready for the pro. So all the small details will make the difference in pro, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that.
Thanks, Lynn. Busha, you were able to bring the team within one, but unfortunately not enough. How would you assess the game as a whole from a team standpoint?
Definitely stuff to work on. I think we just had to get back to the fundamentals, the easy stuff come the third period. We were trying to make plays, turning it over a lot, and I think that's where all their chances come from. But luckily for us, Ole had a great game, so he kept us in it there.
Just maybe assess Ole's game. I mean, kind of a tough opening 6 minutes for him, but he seemed like he dialed in afterwards and really rose up to the challenge after.
Yeah, he was incredible tonight. He's the reason it was only a one-goal game at the point before the empty netter. So he's the reason because of that he played great. But I don't think we helped him out too much.
Did you guys struggle a little bit with their pressure, especially in the second period? They seemed like they were just on you guys the whole time.
A little bit, yeah. I think they had a little bit more jump than we did at some parts. But then there were some parts where we had more jump than them. I think we just have to stay consistent throughout the whole game and keeping the pace up.
Obviously, this is a team game. You're looking to get the win, but on a personal standpoint, how do these two games kind of help set you up in terms of knowing where you're at heading into training camp and then the preseason?
Yeah, it's good to get some games, and you look forward to it. All summer getting back into some games. It's not the way personally I wanted it to go as a whole, but there's definitely stuff to work on. You can see that in the games like this, so I think it's good to get these games in.
Thanks, Evan.
If you can glean some good out of this, is your goalie fought back really well after letting in a couple of early ones, and that's what you want to see from a guy.
Yeah, I think the way our three goaltenders have played over the two games is a real good storyline. I think Ollie stood firm after it's never easy giving up the first goal or on the first shot. So for him to mentally bounce back on that, I thought it was a real positive. He came up with some big saves. I thought he looked calm and collected, and we gave up too many chances for our liking as a team, but he stood firm, which I was pretty proud of.
So you never want to read too much in a rookie game, so 1 goal in 6 periods is probably not what anybody was expecting.
Yeah, and it was a power play goal too, so you never know how these rookie games play out, so to speak. So for us, it's not so much about the structure, it's about the kids trying to make an impression. We asked them to give us their effort and their will, and I thought that was there. The polish of system play and the polish of being able to find ways to create offense wasn't there, but that doesn't mean it won't be going forward. Some of these kids, you look at the numbers they put up at every level, you know that it'll happen. And as they progress towards main camp here, they whet their appetite with some new concepts, and they put the work in. Now it's about going out and showing it against professional hockey players. And these two games that we played, that was against our peer group. It's only going to get more difficult and more ramped up as we go forward here. So it'll be interesting to see who starts to create a little bit of separation.
Jay, if you were to put it simply, what was the biggest difference tonight, especially in the second period?
Well, I didn't think we created much. And so for us, we didn't get many stops on our forecheck to allow us to cycle their team in their end. So as a result, it was pretty easy for them to break out. They broke out, and they did a nice job of spending time in our end. And I thought they committed to shooting the puck. A lot of their, they had a lot of outside chances, but they led to the second and third one. For me, that was the biggest difference. There's areas to improve, but the big thing, like I said, it wasn't so much about the polish of team system play. It was more about, were the kids giving us their effort? They did. We saw some will. There's some growth for a lot of players, but that will play itself out as the camp progresses.
It is the Battle of Alberta. Obviously, some fireworks are expected, but how about Tyler Benson being in the middle of a bunch of scrums and really showing off his competitiveness?
Yeah, I mean, I've known that about Tyler, just going back to our year last year together, he's a skilled player. That stands in there and is not asking anyone else to clean up his messes. He stands in there and fights for his ice and tries to command his share of the rink. And he's not going to abide anyone taking cheap shots or what he perceives as liberties. So I don't think it's in his game to go out and initiate that type of stuff, but he's going to stand in there if someone tries to take advantage of him. And it's a real attribute for him. It's nice to see that little bit of bite.
Great. Thanks, Jay.